for the program we already have.
Good evening. We're going to call to order the Special Contact Committee meeting for 5/11/2026. Members are Cheryl, Tom, and Brian, and myself, and everybody is here. We have two items for discussion this evening. First one is Ordinance 4/2026. This is an ordinance regarding overtaking and passing on the right-hand side during school hours at West Elementary. I'll let our safety director, Kevin, speak to this real quick and go from there.
Yeah, thank you. So this was identified by our school resource officer as a potential safety issue. Think about Tuscarawas Avenue and the intersections where the kids cross there. Traffic will get backed up trying to make that left-hand turn, and cars were passing on the right side of those vehicles as kids were trying to come across pedestrian traffic crossing over the other side of Tuscarawas Avenue. So it was a good find by our school resource officer, and we did look at other school zones to see if that need existed. We determined at this time other school zones don't require that, so we are proposing to make that section of roadway on Tuscarawas Avenue. Dan can probably read exactly the exact markers. No passing on the right during school hours of school zones, and they'll be posted and enforceable by ordinance is what we're asking.
Any questions or comments? Yes, ma'am.
That's for all school zones, right?
Just this one's just for West. They looked at all the other ones and they didn't have any issues with those. I think it's just because the width of the road there, it's wide enough that people can, east and south don't have that width to the road, so it's not an issue. So it's just at West.
Okay.
People are making a left onto Fair Avenue. And so,
Yeah.
and right there is where the cross, that's where the crosswalk.
The way Fair intersects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
And that's where the crosswalk is, so people are like, oh, I'll just go around, and there's people there, so.
Can I
Yeah.
say one thing? I know there's a lot of traffic there, 'cause I live up in that neck of the woods. One time this was before Chief Verhovey's time, there was actually a parent out in the middle of the road stopping traffic so his kids could cross, and it wasn't a
Crosswalk.
sidewalk, it was Chief Goodwin at the time. I called him and let him know it was very, very unsafe. And it wouldn't have been apparent from here.
Yeah,
But, yeah, I've seen that happen over there.
yeah, I've not seen anybody pass on the right-hand side, but I've seen people blow through that school zone on a
Yeah.
regular basis, so. Is there any other questions or comments on this?
No, sir.
Is there any action to be taken on this one? Do we want to add this on to tonight's, yes?
I will make a motion that we put this on the agenda tonight.
And we could do 3 readings on this, because
gonna get out.
school's out anyway,
Yeah.
so this will be for next school year.
I'll make the second.
All right, so we will add ordinance 4/2026 on for its first reading tonight. Our second item is ordinance 10/2026. This is a recommendation to raise the fee for garage sale permits from $1 to $5. And I will let our law director, since that came from him, correct? Did that come from you?
I would defer to the administration. The administration
Okay.
has requested it, but I would note that it has not been modified since 1989,
1989.
so you know.
Okay,
It has not been raised since 1989,
okay.
and the cost of administration has gone up.
How many do we issue a year?
Oh, it depends, Councilman, anywheres from, I don't know, I don't have exact figures, I'd have to check with Jamie. I would say somewhere between 70 and 100.
So we're gonna, make another $400 a year? Is that what we're gonna
Roughly, yeah,
Where does that money go? Does that go into the
general fund.
general fund? Okay. Yes,
make? Why
sir.
not up to 10?
I argued that with her, but
Who's her?
Jamie,
Oh. Well, who's the boss?
me.
Yes, sir.
Taxpayers?
But I,
Taxpayers?
but I told her, I told her we will revisit this every 2 years.
One of the things that constituents
just
will
doesn't
get
seem
as a
like-
result of this is that Jamie is working on a calendar that would be available on the city's website that would advertise who's having a garage sale with the address.
Oh, very nice.
And people can click on it and see it and hopefully get more people
That's
coming to their garage sale.
Do we know what neighboring cities are charging?
$5.
$5,
Yeah.
perfect, okay.
And then if I can add, that gives them 3 per year too.
Right.
So
Yeah.
If you look at it with the dollar, it's 33 cents each time, so it's really not gonna, for, that kind of money.
Right.
We could just give them 3.
You probably got most of that in printing costs anyway. Just give them a certificate.
Yeah.
That's why I said, not enough.
We gotta be competitive with other.
Why, you gotta go have your sale in Dover instead?
They could, family over there. Any questions from you, Cheryl? Brian, anything?
I mean, it's just trying to cover our costs. That's-
Absolutely, absolutely. Is there any action to be taken on
Can I
this
just
one?
say one thing? Is it $3, or wasn't it $1 for a 1 yard sale for 3 days? But you have to pay $1 every time you wanna have another 3-day yard sale?
Right?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I believe so.
Can you
yes.
read the ordinance? Is the ordinance written in there in
I
front of you?
did, I did not read that, but
Yeah, if you would read that, I thought it had that they got you.
I didn't read it. I don't
Makes no
think I have
difference
that
how
on.
old it is per
Sorry,
day.
the mayor didn't read that ordinance. Let me look.
I guess it doesn't say on here.
She's right, she's right.
There's a lot of extra needs to read it,
It doesn't,
clarify.
I mean, the original.
Oh,
You know that, Rich?
You wrote that?
$5.
I only modified
No,
section
I'm saying
C of that section, which was the change of the cost.
70303.
I didn't do anything with the.
You don't know whether it's 1 day or that's the extent of
I
the.
thought it was per garage sale, but I
It
don't.
is per garage sale, but are they 3 days? I think they're allowed 3 days,
Yeah,
up to 3 days.
Okay.
So this is
Up
per,
to- Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
for 3
so
days.
this would be per garage sale,
Correct.
and that permit is good for 3 days.
My bad.
Okay.
Knew there was 3 days in
Any
there.
other action? Any action to be taken on it? And do 3 readings on this, or do we want it passed right away?
Now's the time for garage sales, much will pass.
Doesn't matter?
3 readings is okay.
Doesn't really matter.
You're just getting into the season
Yep.
of,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any
I'll
action?
second it.
Okay. All right, so then we will add ordinance 10/2026 on to tonight for first reading. Is there anything else to come to?
do you need a second on that?
I
He
seconded
seconded
it.
it. Did you first it?
Yeah.
I said it's not
I
enough.
didn't say anything, but I
First
put
and
my
second.
hand
I
up.
see your
That's
hand
what
go
you
up.
guys want, that's fine.
All right, is there anything else to come before this committee this evening? Nothing? All right, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
You're slacking, Mike, that took you 7 minutes.
That was 2.
He's at the.
All right, it's now 7 PM. I'll be calling the Public Works and Economics Committee to order. Members are Mr. Rippeth, Mrs. Ramos, myself, and the alternate is Mr. Simlick. We have two items to discuss tonight. The first item we're going to discuss is proposed Resolution 5, 2026. It's a nature work grant. From what I understand, it's a lot to do with Tuscarora Park, and that whatever cost would be on our end would be covered by the foundation. But I'm going to turn that over to the service director now to speak on that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We had a representative from Baseball Now and Forever, Mr. Ricklick, approach us and wanted to do a restroom out there, almost behind home plate, one on each side for the new field. And that grant, ODNR, typically at the large end is usually 27,000, because what you get is one per county. We was lucky enough one time, if some of you was here for a while, we got it for the skate park one time, and it was 19,700 something, so it's only so much. But they cannot be the grantee or so they, that's why they're the applicant, there you go. So, I sent out that MOU to everybody. It shows that they'll bear, all costs. We won't have any cost in that at this time.
Is there any questions from the committee?
So essentially, Ronnie, we're just acting as a fiscal on it,
Yes.
Yep.
and there'll be a sub-grantee?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Mrs. Ramos?
Yeah, okay. I read on the bottom of the MOU, I'm pulling it up here, sorry. But on the very bottom, it said, this is a non-binding effect. It documents mutual intent, cooperation only, and does not create a debt, obligation, or pledge of credit. Expenditures by either party are subject to separate legislation or governing body approval. So when I was reading that, I was like, okay, so that said to me that the foundation was not gonna pay for that. Or they could say, yeah, we're doing it, but according to the MOU, that they didn't have to, it was non-binding.
I can address that.
I'm gonna say that'd be a question for Marvin.
Yes.
MOUs are
Right,
always
small.
non-binding, it's your intent, it's not a contract, but they're signing it as a legal document to, show what they're going to do.
Maybe.
Well, I don't see that.
The intent is,
Yeah, but I
And-
mean, but that's no different, we did an MOU for our police officers that go to the schools, resource officers that go to the school, we did an MOU for that. And nobody at school said, well, it's not binding, how do we know the police officer's gonna show up? So, you know, it's typically done in legal form to express your intent without it being a binding contract. I don't know if they can do a binding contract because they're 501c3.
so and the other question I had, reading the legislation, was that this was, we obligated the funds for, and if we got it, was, we had to pay it first, and then Nature Works would reimburse us. And you said it's for 17,000?
I don't know, it ranges. I've seen it as high as 27, as far as what they come back with typically, ODNR. It's usually not much, because just one municipality or village gets it in the whole county. That's it. But like I say, at one time, we got the 21,000, and I've seen one go out a couple years ago, it was like 29, I was kinda like shocked about it, so it could be anywhere between 17 and, let's say, 30.
So what is the cost of the new restrooms?
Right now, in the preliminary things, they have right around 149,000, I believe it was.
So they're just kinda asking for some money to help.
Correct.
Okay, so then, my next question is for the auditor. You knew I was coming to you. So for that amount of money, do we have that to pay out to be reimbursed?
City doesn't need to have it to pay out.
This is the first that's being discussed with me, so, but that's what they said, it was reimbursable, and that's what my question was going to be, does any of this money flow through the city?
No.
Even if the
No.
foundation pays it,
Yep,
no money flows through the city?
exactly.
Right.
Okay. If the non-legal binding MOU takes effect and they have the money.
I don't think they would enter an MOU though if they didn't have the money. Wouldn't make much sense.
Well, I think at the end of the day, do not look at who wrote it up. It was Judge Ernest. I'm not too sure if that's someone you'd want to question whether he was writing a thing that you could go out to here and shred it in a shredder the next day after doing it. You know, I would maybe question it if it was somebody different, but Mike Ernest is the president of the, so I believe he comes with pretty high credentials and pretty high standards as far as that goes.
And I would echo that as well. I didn't realize that Mr. Ernest, or Judge Ernest.
Yeah, he signed it.
But that's one of the few committees that he had been on a number of boards, but because of ethics, that's one of the few, because it's a 501c3 that he can still be on. And it's very important to him. It's something that he's passionate about and cares very much about.
And let me note, I'm not questioning him. I asked about the MOU, not the people that signed it. Okay.
I'll let him know.
All right, any other questions from the committee? Council? All right, see, administration or guests? Seeing none, is there any action to be taken on this?
Yes, sir, I would move that we go ahead and put Resolution 5, 2026 on tonight's agenda for first reading.
Okay, do we have a second? I'll second that, and we'll take a vote. Mr. Ribbon?
Yes.
I'll vote yes. Mrs. Ramos?
No.
Okay, it passes 2-1, will be added to tonight's agenda. The next thing we have is our presentation from Mr. Kennedy and Mr. Bedard. They're gonna speak on the hangar expansion project. I'm gonna turn it over to them now. You just go up to the podium and state your name. It doesn't amplify, it just records.
Don Kennedy, Chairman of the New Philadelphia Airport Commission, and I have with me a member of the Airport Commission, Mr. Bob Bedard. I'd like to thank council and the administration for having us here this evening. Just a quick history. I believe some of you know this. I know the 3 members on council that are part of the Airport Commission do. But the New Philadelphia Airport Commission 5 years ago embarked on an endeavor to construct another hangar at the airport, similar to what we did back starting in 2017 when we built the new 12-bay hangar at the airport due to the wait list that we had for hangars at New Philadelphia Airport. Prior to that, it had probably been 25 or 30 years since a hangar had been built, and that was also on the Delaware Drive side of the field for aircraft that are based at New Philadelphia. One of the problems we have is that the FAA, through their grant procedure, never let us take grant money. It's ineligible grant money to build a hangar, which restricts a lot of airports across the country. Don't ask me the reasoning for it, but I think it limits many airports by not having federal grant money available to build a hangar. During about in 2021, the bipartisan infrastructure law, commonly referred to as bill funding, put an exception in that grant process that airports were awarded, and hangars became available as a project using federal money. The city of New Philadelphia was awarded $722,000 in bill funding by the FAA. The Airport Commission immediately jumped on that, knowing that we had a need for new hangars at New Philadelphia. When we built the 2019 hangar, we had a wait list. I came to council, explained the wait list that we had, and we went out and borrowed state infrastructure money, where we borrowed the money from the state of Ohio at a 3% rate for 20 years. That hangar was full by the day we opened the doors. We still have a wait list. We feel that we can build another 12-bay hangar, and we will have that filled by the time construction is completed. So we took over the last 5 years, we've banked the money, I believe about $150,000 a year that the federal government gave us. We also have been banking our $150,000 a year in entitlement funds. And we have $450,000 sitting in FAA entitlement funds that we plan on using to build the taxiway to this hangar. Now, this hangar will be located right next to where we built the 2019 hangar on the Delaware side of the airport. So if you're familiar with the airport, we have a 10-bay hangar, we have a 12-bay hangar, a 2019, and we propose to put this 2027 hangar right next to that. And there'll be a taxiway connected to the 12-bay hangar to this new 12-bay hangar. That's the background of where we are right now. We have a slide presentation on the airport. I'll turn it over to Bob since he put this slide presentation, and just give you a quick history about what we have as an economic benefit to Tuscarawas County and the city of New Philadelphia.
With the President's permission, can I just stand right here to address the council? New Philadelphia Airport, when I was putting this together, I realized that our airport is going to celebrate a 100-year anniversary next year. It was originally known as Schumbrunn Field. But we have the only public-use airport in Tuscarawas County. And what really is attractive about our local airport is that nice, big, paved runway that you see in the picture. It's about 4,000 foot long, 100 foot wide. It's served by 2 non-precision approaches, which are very important because when people come in here for business purposes and inclement weather, those are the approaches that they're flying their airplanes in so they can get below the clouds. So we have those type of approaches at our local airport. In addition to that, we also have a weather station that's supported by the NOAA. That's actually what feeds information into the National Weather Service. So when people go online and they look at the weather at different places around the country, or in Philadelphia, it's that weather station that's submitting the information to the government systems. If you look at this picture here, this is cardinal directions. Here's north, south, east, west. And over on this side here, as Don was mentioning, this is the hangar that we built back in 2019. And we're looking at building another hangar right about there on the west side of the field. That's the growth area of our local airport. Can I have the next slide, please? So New Philadelphia Airport, there's a fixed base operator. That's the manager, the individual who's responsible for making sure that all the systems at the airport are functional, from the lights to the communications to the weather station, so on and so forth, and the fuel pumps. There is also a maintenance shop that's located on field. There's 9 individuals full-time there and 5 part-time individuals working at that maintenance facility. People come from all around because it's, I won't say unusual, but it's great to have a maintenance facility at a local airport, because a lot of these GA airports like New Philadelphia don't have local maintenance. And we have people coming from other states to bring their aircraft here to have it worked on by our local crew. There's about 14 people that provide those services. We also have a very busy flight department, 3 flight instructors and 45 students. These are people who've never flown an airplane before. They come in for an intro flight. They go on to the private license, to commercial license. And these are folks that are going to be going out into the world. If they want to go fly professionally, they can get their start here in New Philadelphia. Look what happened with John Glenn. We also have fuel, avgas, and jet fuel. We have 49 based aircraft. You can see the different types of aircraft that we have at the airport. We have a local restaurant that provides meals for dinners, and it's a local tradition for folks to go to Magoo's. And we also have a local chapter of the EAA, that's the Experimental Aircraft Association. They do a lot of education for the local community, and I'll get into that in a moment. Let's go to the next slide, please. New Philadelphia has about 5,500 airport operations a year. That's landings and takeoffs. Transient activity is people who are flying cross-country and they might stop for a fuel stop or a restroom break, or maybe they get a bite to eat. Corporate activity, people coming in to visit maybe businesses that they own in the area, Menards, Rural King. I've seen aircraft from these different organizations or companies come in, they use our local airfield, land the plane, they can go visit their local store, jump on the plane and go to the next city and do the same thing all over again. What really was surprising to me though is that utility and survey work. There is a lot of survey work that uses our airport. Helicopters, like, it's a little bit dark in that picture, but like the helicopters that fly around and look at the utility lines or trim the trees, they use New Philadelphia to fuel up, to get a rest. Some of these people, they're here for like 2 to 3 weeks because that's their contract period. So they're staying at the local hotels and local restaurants while they're here on their assignment. And then we also have a few medical services at the airport. Next slide, please. That EAA chapter that I mentioned before, very
No,
big.
Ron,
Too much? The other way.
that, the other way.
The EAA chapter, very big in education.
There you go.
They like bringing in folks to see what the airport's about and aviation's all about, so they hold a couple pancake breakfasts a year. That allows pilots and the local folks to come on in, look at the airplanes. They also try to bring in heritage aircraft like that tri-motor up in the top right-hand corner. Recently, they just had a C-47. I don't know if you noticed that, but for the celebration that we had down in Venison a couple weekends ago, that C-47 used New Philadelphia as a base of operation. And then finally, with education with the younger folks, they have what's called the Right Flight or the Young Eagles program, where they teach aeronautics and aviation to young kids. One of the things that they do is they let the kids build a rib from one of the Wright brothers airplanes. So in that lower picture there, the kids are actually building this rib. And after they're done building the rib, they can take it home, hang it up on their bedroom wall. And when they complete that program, there's a opportunity for them to go flying. And with most of these kids, it's the first time they've ever been up in an airplane. And they can sit up in the front and manipulate the controls, and they have a great time. So it's a wonderful program that our local EAA chapter puts on. Next slide, please. The Ohio Airport's economic impact study was done some number of years ago. I think it was about 2014. This is in the packet that was distributed to you. But the state came in and they analyzed our local airport and determined that it generates about a $7.7 million economic impact to our region. And it's broken up between on-airport and off-airport or multiplier type functions that the airport supports. But $7.7 million. And I understand that there's going to be a new study. I expect these numbers to change. The new study is going to be released next month. So I'm going to keep an eye out on that one there, but I would expect it to have even higher numbers than what we see here for 2014. Now, for every pilot, for every aircraft that we can bring to our local airport, we can gain revenue. Up on the screen is approximately what we would expect for every single engine aircraft that we bring to New Philadelphia. Between what they're going to purchase in fuel, or the maintenance that they're going to be purchasing or contracting with the local maintenance shop, the hangar rentals, you're looking at about $13,000 per aircraft outlay. For that 2019 hangar, 12 bays, there's 12 of them. If you multiply it, if you could hit that button one more time, Larry, if you multiply that out, that's $160,000 that 12-bay hangar is bringing to the local economy. Next slide, please. So what we're proposing is to replicate what we did back in 2019. There's a 2019 hangar, and we want to basically do a mirror copy of that 2019 hangar. We're going to call it the 2027 hangar. And it's going to be an all-metal hangar. The only utility that's going to be in it is electricity. That's to operate the bifold doors so the airplanes can get into it. And it's going to be serviced with a taxiway all the way around for access to the 12 bays. So there's going to be 6 bays on the one side, which will be the north side, and 6 bays on the south side. One thing I'll point out to you is that currently the airport has 6 hangar facilities. Most of the hangars are old. Some of the hangars are even older than me. They were built back in the 40s or the 50s. And back then, a lot of the airplanes were smaller. So a lot of the newer airplanes, pilots who are buying an airplane that might have been built in the last 25 years, can't put them into those smaller hangars. It's kind of like an old 1920s house. The garage, the detached garage, was fine for a Model T, but it can't fit a modern SUV. And the same thing with hangars. These hangars, the 2019 hangar and this new one that we're proposing, can accept up to a light twin aircraft, a multi-engine aircraft. So you can get more of a modern aircraft into this type of a hangar. Next slide, please. Don was talking a little bit about the pricing. So broke down the project into basically 3 different categories, and it's the way that the government has to allocate the money, because as he mentioned, the government doesn't allow you to use money for certain applications, but other ones you can't. So the design phase of the project is, actually it's complete. It was the drawings that our airport consultant completed. Between the money we received from the FAA or the federal government and the state, we totally covered the design cost of the project. The other project part that we have is a taxi lane and a pavement, looking at about $500,000 for that. Again, between what we can get from the federal government and the state, there would be no local cost for that segment of the project. The third part, which is the actual structure of the hangar itself, that's where we're gonna fall a little bit short between what we can get from the federal government and the state. You can see we're gonna have about a $640,000 shortfall. And that's what we're seeking from, our approval from the council, is the ability to fund that shortfall that we have. I will say this, as far as what Don mentioned about us banking the money, we're looking at about a $1.9 million project. We banked 1.3. It's about 70% of the cost of the project. Next slide, please. So, that $640,000, the ODOT has, their state infrastructure bank has a wonderful program where we can go out there and obtain a SIB loan. Those are 20-year loan terms at a very attractive 3%. And we would be looking at approximately a $48,000 a year payment. And the interesting thing about these SIB loans is that even though it's for 20 years, the first 2.5 years, you don't have to make a payment. So really only making payments for 17.5 years. And the first 1.5 years, you don't have to pay interest. So the first 1.5 years, no interest. Then the year after that, you pay just interest only, but it's added to the principal. Then the year after that, which is like 2.5 years into it, that's when you make your first payment. Now, what we would do is, next slide, please. This is a table that shows if we take the loan out and we get the hangar constructed, 2027, we're looking at, if everything goes well, with funding, weather, contractors, if we can move in by next May, we can start collecting rents from our tenants, because it's gonna be occupied. And we're gonna be collecting this second, the second column right here represents the rents that we'll be collecting. This first column here represents the payments, the SID payments. And you'll notice that for a lot of this, there's a shortfall between the two. And this is the negative that is the shortfall between these two. However, for that first 2.5 years, you're collecting rent only. And you can build up a reserve fund. And that reserve fund is about $82,000 that we would be building up. And what we would do is to cover all these years of shortfalls, we would just pull the money out of that $82,000, so that at the time that we get down to loan completion, which is 2047, it's net zero. The project supports itself through the rents that the tenants will be paying. As a matter of fact, there's going to be just a little bit left over, about $1,000 left over in the reserve fund by the time that we're done with that project. Next slide, please. Now, we're going to have a unique opportunity when we pay off the loan on the 2019 hangar. And that's going to happen in late 2038. Because at that point in time, then we can start pulling that money that we're getting from that hangar, and the rents are going to be the same that we're collecting on this. So it's about $44,000 a year. But we can take that $44,000 a year and apply it to this new loan. And if we do that, we could pay this loan off 4 years early. And that would be in 2043 here. Once we pay that loan off, now we got 2 hangars that we totally own. And that's gonna generate a free cash flow of at least $90,000 a year.
That is our goal of the airport commission, is try to make the airport as self-sufficient as possible. And we have very limited ways to do that. And hangar rent is one of the major ones. So once we pay these loans off, like Bob said, we got $85,000 to $88,000 a year that we can put back into the airport and not have to rely solely on general fund money to the airport. It would be nice if we could continue to do that in those years and make New Philadelphia Airport the best we can make it. That's what the FAA told us to do a number of years ago when we tried to move the runway. They said, you know, you've got 4,000 feet, make the best of this airport that you can. And that's what the Airport Commission is trying to do. And we hope that you see this as an economic benefit and can help us do that by approving a SIB loan for us to complete this project. Pretty much funded a lot by the federal government. So, does anybody have any questions? Yes, sure.
Thank you. How many are on the wait list?
The last track we had, I believe, 18 we submitted to the FAA.
And if you don't, if there's unrented space,
There has not been.
no, if in the future there is, how is that payment made for the loan?
We would fund it from rents that the airport, the city is collecting from the other aircraft on the field. But we've never had, we've never had a vacancy. That, I mean, this is the problem that every airport in the country has. There are not enough hangars for the number of airplanes that are out there. And today when somebody is buying an airplane, they don't want to tie it down outside. The hailstorms we have, all the storms we're having, the windstorms, they want it in a secure facility. So they are going and driving other places to find hangars, and if you have to drive 30, 40, 50 miles, that's very inconvenient. So the more hangars we can bring to New Philly, the more airplanes we have, the more economic benefit we bring to our airport, the more federal funding we get.
So, has the Airport Commission done a study on what other places are charging for their hangar rent?
We have.
Rent?
We're right in the middle. As
We're in
far
the
as our
middle.
hangar rents, we're right in the middle of other airports. The higher rents airports have a lot better procedures than we have. They have a lot more amenities than we have, better secured airports than what we have. So our hangar rents are right in the middle of where the other surrounding airports similar to ours are.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions from
Yeah,
any
I've got
council
one.
members? Yes, Don?
Can you adjust the rents?
We have.
It says the 20-year loan, can you adjust it?
We have already done that in this financing. We
Sure.
have raised the rents from the 2019 hangar to the 2027 hangar to make this project work.
Because 20 years is a long time to keep
We have,
this
and
thing.
that, Bob failed to put in a slide in there, but if you look at that, every 5 years, those rents are adjusted. And the key to this is, and it's something that we put in a number of years ago that I lobbied for, was, we're calling it a maintenance fee now, but it was actually a capital improvement fee for the hangars. Mr. McAbeer came to us and said, hey, we have to raise rents. So we went around to all the other hangars on the field, which we split with the FBO. When the 2019 hangar was put into effect, we excluded that hangar, and we are excluding this hangar, where the city collects 100% of the rent. We are not splitting that with the fixed base operator. So
Don, I hate to cut you short, but we're gonna be
Okay.
coming up on time and stuff, but thank you for coming and thank you for the presentation, guys.
You're welcome. Thank you.
This
We
will
hope
give
we hope we have council's.
This is gonna be
blessing.
more of an informative tonight, I'm not asking for action on it. By that time, maybe we'll have proposed legislation we could look at for the next, we'll have another meeting, come next council meeting.
Can they come
And-
back again and finish?
Maybe if they're available, or one of you guys are available for questions next time.
Be happy to come back anytime if
Okay,
you have
but-
more questions.
So,
Anytime.
is there anything else to come before committee? Nope. Seeing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved, sir.
So moved at 7:30.
Thanks. All right, this meeting of Philadelphia, the council and I come to order. Would you please rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance? Mr. Walker.
Bow our heads, please. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, this beautiful day. Thank you for this beautiful city and those that support it and work for it and protect it. Be with this council this evening as we just have discussion, be with our discussions, and our agendas. Just keep us focused on you. And we pray all this in your name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you, everyone, and welcome to our council meeting now. Roll call, we'll start with roll call.
Mr. Kreinbell.
Here.
Mr. Lonzer.
Here.
Mrs. Ramos.
Here.
Mr. Rippeth.
Present.
Mr. Sears.
Here.
Mr. Simmelink.
Here.
Mr. Walker.
Here.
All right, before we go on any further, our next meeting will be Memorial Day holiday, so our next meeting will be on the 28th of May. It's on Thursday. I don't think we want to come in on Monday. So, just so everybody knows, the next meeting will be on the 28th of May. All right. Has everybody had a chance to review the agenda or the additions to the agenda for tonight? Mr. Walker?
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. I need to add ordinance 4, 2026, and 10, 2026 to tonight's
Do I
agenda.
have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Ramos had, thank you, Mr. Ramos. In discussion by administration, council, roll call.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Mrs. Ramos.
Yes.
Mr. Kreinbell.
Yes.
Mr. Lonzer.
Yes.
Mr. Rippeth.
Yes.
Mr. Sears.
Yes.
Mr. Simmelink.
Yes.
All right. Any other additions? Mr. Lonzer?
Yes, Mr. President, I asked that we add proposed resolution 5, 2026 to tonight's agenda.
Do I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Rippeth. In discussion by administration, council, roll call.
Mr. Lonzer.
Yes.
Mr. Rippeth.
Yes.
Mr. Kreinbell.
Yes.
Mrs. Ramos.
Yes.
Mr. Sears.
Yes.
Mr. Simmelink.
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
All right, do we have any other additions? Hearing none, entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Make motion?
Thank you, Mr. Cranberry. Second. Mr. Ramos, thank you. In discussion by administration, council, roll call.
Mr. Kreinbell.
Yes.
Mrs. Ramos.
Yes.
Mr. Lonzer.
Yes.
Mr. Rippeth.
Yes.
Mr. Sears.
Yes.
Mr. Simmelink.
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
All right, our agenda has been approved. Minutes. Everybody had a chance to review the minutes from our last council meeting. Are there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, entertain a motion to approve. Nobody wants to, Mr. Walker?
Yes.
Do I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Rippeth. All right, in discussion by administration, council, roll call.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Mr. Rippeth.
Yes.
Mr. Kreinbell.
Yes.
Mr. Lonzer.
Yes.
Mrs. Ramos.
Abstain.
Mr. Sears.
Yes.
Mr. Simmelink.
Yes.
All right, our minutes have been approved. Correspondence, Ms. Courtwright.
To Council Clerk from Scott Hail via certified mail dated May 1st, 2026. This is a notice that a petition has been filed to annex his property located at 1854 Hillendale Road Northeast, New Philadelphia. I forwarded the notice to President Kemp. To Council Clerk from Jan McInturf via certified mail dated May 1st, 2026. This is a notice of a petition to annex the property owned by Catherine Cabbage located at 1767 Hillendale Road Northeast. I forwarded this petition to President Kemp. To Council and Administration from Executive Administrative Assistant for the Mayor Jamie Bailey dated May 1st, 2026. This is the April month-end report for the Mayor's Office. To Council and Administration from Lee Carl Finley, REHS, BS, MDiv, PhD, dated May 6, 2026. This is an email in response to an email titled Closure of the New Philadelphia City Health Department. To Council and Administration from Danielle DiMatteo with the Auditor's Office, dated May 7th, 2026. This is the April month-end reports. To President Kemp from Law Director Fate, dated May 7th, 2026. This is an email titled, Please assign to Mr. Walker's committee with proposed ordinance 10, 2026 as the attachment. President Kemp asked Mr. Walker to take the legislation into his committee. To President Kemp from Law Director Fate, dated May 7th, 2026. This is an email titled, Please assign to Mr. Lonzer's committee with Resolution 5, 2026 as the attachment. President Kemp asked Mr. Lonzer to take this legislation into his committee. To President Kemp from Law Director Fate, dated May 8th, 2026. This is an email titled, Please assign to Mrs. Ramos's committee with proposed ordinance 9, 2026, or proposed ordinance 11, 2026 as the attachment. President Kemp asked Mrs. Ramos to take the legislation into her committee. To Council Clerk from Treasurer Campbell, dated May 11th, 2026. This is the Treasurer's report, and I forwarded the report to Council and Administration. And to Council and Administration from Mayor Day, dated May 11th, 2026, the Mayor's report, and that concludes correspondence for this evening.
All right, thank you, Ms. Woodwright. Move on to our administrative reports. First up, Mayor Day.
Thank you, Mr. President, council members, fellow administrators and guests. A couple things. I want to give some accolades out here. The members of the city's Design Review Board have been implementing the new zoning code to bring consistency of appearance to business signage in the downtown area, and they're doing a great job. For instance, at the board's, last week at the board's monthly meeting, the owners of ZND Auto Repair on West High Avenue brought their sign design in for review. And the board really gave them some good recommendations, the changes that they'll have to make to the sign in order to comply with the zoning code's sign regulations for size, placement, and text. Their new sign will be where the general, this is where Randy Sayer had his business. Used to be J&J Auto Repair, where now it's ZND Auto Repair. And their new sign will be under the general tire sign that you see beside the building, but the Design Review Board said you could also put other signage on the building itself if you need to. So that was very helpful for them, and they really appreciated the efforts of the Design Review Board. So I just want to say that I'm grateful to the board and the members for their commitment to providing guidance that makes New Philadelphia more attractive and preserves our architectural heritage. They are really serving our community well in those positions. And also, if you look in the report that I sent you, the photograph of the new pillars at East Avenue Cemetery, I urge you to take a drive there. That's on Delaware Drive Southeast, if you've never been to the East Avenue Cemetery. The new pillars there have been restored. That's the work of New Philadelphia Schools retiree Chris Bourne, whose father, Guy Bourne, built the pillars in 1930. Guy Bourne also built the mausoleum at the East Avenue Cemetery. Chris takes great pride in his masonry talent, and it certainly shows. So Memorial Day weekend would be a great time for you to visit and just admire Chris's work. That concludes my report. Any questions?
Any questions of the mayor?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Day. Next, Service Director, Mr. McAmeer.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone. Quick update on the quadrants downtown. I know I'd reported a couple meetings ago about the coal chute, and the fact that we was at the contingency money out of it. But last week, we was fortunate enough with Director Carey of the Governor's Appellation, was able to come up with some funding, and he will fund that now for us. That's good news. I think we reported, a couple, 2 or 3 meetings about this pavilion. It is still not on site. So we're having a difficult time getting it from Zanesville. There's a couple other things that they want to do at Zanesville versus coming from Zanesville to do some final touches and deliver it when it's completed. So they're still working through that. Also, next Thursday, the 21st, we'll open bids for the CDBG project for 2026. So we'll have that to go through at that time. And then I hopefully have an update by the 28th to see and share the results of the bids at that time. Everybody, as far as everybody can imagine, General Services is doing hot mix. And hot mix, and then when they're done doing hot mix, they're doing hot mix. So they're trying to keep up after the streets and the potholes especially. And then, ironic, or our luck, went to take the bucket truck up today, the one that cuts trees down, to Orville to get the dielectric, make sure everything's fine with it. Well, they had to turn around about just above Strasburg, turn around because we had a traffic light that was out. So right now, we have no bucket truck. It is in Orville. Let's hope nothing else happens. Even a tree comes down, we don't have no bucket truck. That one always served as a backup. And again, everybody knows my feelings on it. I don't believe that's the way to do business. And that's the end of my report.
Right, any questions?
I just wanted to thank you, and was it Brian Polka, right?
Yeah.
That put up the sign for the event that Mayor Day, and I know Mike and, forget somebody, and Ron came to, geez. Just thank him for coming out on a Saturday and helping us do that event. It turned out awesome.
Yeah, it was. It was. Thank you.
Very
Yep.
good,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you, Councilman, for thinking of that.
Yeah.
That was great,
Thank you.
well deserved.
It was good to see the employee that was out on a Saturday, and he
Right.
wasn't mad that he was there.
That's
He was
right.
happy to be there and be
Yeah.
part of it, and that was,
Brian's a great employee.
Brian is.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Make sure you thank him for me.
Yep, I will do that.
Appreciate it.
All right, next up, Safety Director, Mr. Milligan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report this evening.
Ah, all right. Auditor, Mrs. Denham.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just have a quick update on the income tax collections. The last meeting, as of the last meeting, we were down about $400,000 from that time, from April of last year. And we did make up a lot of ground, but we did finish April, we're $28,821 less than April 30th of last year, year to date, from January through April 30th. So, again, we're estimating a 2.5% increase, and we're not hitting that. We're down. So, and I just a quick report on, I know we're anxious to get that bucket truck. The state shuts down the payments every May. By May 29th, we have to have the invoices submitted to the state in order to receive reimbursements, and then they don't send out the payments again until July, when they open back up for their fiscal period. And so that's going to leave money within our project funds a little tight until we receive those reimbursements after July. And there's other projects being added to the master capital fund that we didn't originally have purchase orders for, an amount of $40,100. So since we're obligated already to pay that, we'll have to make sure that we make those payments. 20,000 of that, I believe, will be reimbursed by the state, but again, with their fiscal period ending, we won't receive those reimbursements until after July. So we could perhaps have a meeting sometime to try to work out you know, everything that's going on in the master capital and get a plan so that we can get the bucket truck ordered. And that's all I have.
Any questions for the auditor? Yes, Ms. Ramos.
The figure you gave on, we were down in the income tax, I had made up some ground, but we're still down. Does that include the refunds? That total you gave us?
That does
that's
not, that
net.
does not count the refunds, no, that's just the revenue coming in only. And if you recall, last year, we did have some very large refunds, so that should help some. We don't have as much expenses, but the revenue is just not coming in like we thought they would. So that's not including, the refunds don't come into that 2.5% increase, this was just revenue first.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
we
I was
expected
just
it to.
wondering if it was gross or net, which I would call what we actually get after we've done the refunds.
So this was the gross that we were down $28,000 just in revenue before we take any expenses out, before we take any refunds out.
Do we know what the revenues were for that period? I mean, the refunds, sorry.
I don't have that sheet with me. That's one of those attachments that Carly sends. So, and it is, the refunds are down, so we're not refunding nearly as much as what we did last year, but.
Thank you. So when you compare it to the last year's revenue, the number you're using to compare last year is also not inclusive of the refunds.
Right, yes. So this was just the revenue we brought in from January 1st through April 30th, and that's just the revenue before we even
Right.
take out the refunds.
It would,
And-
just from my simple brain, it would seem to make sense to speak of the actual net, right, instead of, because we're not really, that's really not comparing a real number, right? I mean, we're talking about a number that's not real because it's not this year or last year because it's not inclusive of the refunds, right? Right, would you agree?
Right, yes. But we were just figuring, when we calculated the 2.5% increase, it was just over the revenue before we just took last year's
Yeah.
revenue.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And did the
Yeah.
2.5% increase. and we're
The other
down to-
question I'd asked about was as far as the refunds, and actually, I know, so last year was kind of a one-off because there was a situation in 2024 that we made up for in 2025. But when I look at those sheets that Carly sends out, I mean, the refunds are trending up, right? We refunded more in, if I'm looking at it right, we refunded more in February, and then we refunded even more in March than what we did in February. So to me, that number looks like it's going the wrong way.
A lot of it's timing issues also.
And
They did get done with the tax returns that owe money.
Yeah.
Those are the ones, they have to get the check, we have to get checks into the bank within 2 days.
But
so-
I guess I just was wondering, so then the mayor sent something too, and it kind of helped me understand better what that is. I mean, it's really, we're just, I don't want to say we're overcharging, but, I mean, if we're getting refunds, I guess we kind of are, right? We're overcharging.
I think we need
So
to
is-
take a look at that.
Is there a way that we can work with
Our
those
process.
companies? I mean, we certainly can't be the only entity that has situations like that. Can we go work directly with those companies to try to figure out a way to correct
Find out
that somehow?
correctly.
Some of those refunds, maybe, there are various reasons for the refunds. Some refunds are because the employer withholds on somebody that's over, or under 18, and we have to refund that money back to them because they're not charged income tax until they're 18 or older. There's,
Right.
you know, some of
I
these
think I looked in
refunds
that,
are-
what Mayor said, I mean, I think the biggest was like ODOT and maybe UPS, and so, and the sheriff's office. So I'm just thinking, those are the three biggest names on that
They're
list.
doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be withholding
Okay.
the income tax, and then we give credit give credit back if they file their tax return for working outside the city.
Yeah.
So if they work in other cities, then they can get a refund.
I just didn't know if we ever had the conversation with them, just to see if there was a way a better way to do it. Not that they're doing anything wrong,
Right.
but it just kind of makes it hard on us.
No, because when you were income tax administrator, have you had those conversations with those?
Yes.
They are required to withhold that, yeah.
But we checked, I mean, we held on to the money as long as we could.
A lot of refunds are also due to people making overestimated payments. And they're due, that's their money, they're due that refund.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Denham. Treasurer's report,
Thank you, Mr.
Mrs.
President.
Kimball.
Thank you. The treasurer's report was sent out today, sorry for the delay. Total deposits were $6.9 million with interest income of $35,000. Year-to-date interest income is at $111,000, which is $69,000 over our earnings last year as of April. You can see the report, when you look at it, it's gonna be a little bit different. The top section is very similar, but I tried to add, I'm adding some more to the reporting. The middle section is incomplete. The only information that I have available to add to it right now is, it's the debt schedule with loan balances. So I have access to the First Fed loans. We have $2.3 million in loans outstanding, but I've asked the auditor to provide me with the details on the fire station bond payments, which I was told the payments are going to increase this year,
I don't think, it's not this year.
next year. A rescue truck, which the report says 2026, safety director has just confirmed it's actually summer of 2027. We already have a current airport SIB loan, and then we have the one that was proposed tonight. That will be 2026, I believe. And then the Bearcat SWAT vehicle, which I was also told is 2027. So my goal is to be able to provide our total debt outstanding. So as we try to develop the master capital and budgeting process, we have better visibility, because I don't know that it's, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, we necessarily have a funding issue. I think it's all timing of the expenditures that are coming out, and it's all, we have to pay for it up front, and then we get reimbursed. So the one statement you made about the invoices needing to be submitted, is there anything we can do to help collect those invoices so you can get them submitted, so we can get reimbursed, or do you not know what you're missing?
Well, I wasn't sure if the project, I was told that the project wasn't going to happen, and then I heard that it was going to happen, and so it's going back and forth, and the purchase order needs to be submitted before we can get the invoices in.
If there's anything I can do to help expedite that, please let me know. The third section in the new treasurer's report is going to detail the fund balances. I think my April numbers might be slightly different from the report that I had printed, so I will make sure that's updated for the May report if there is a difference. But the fund balances, again, we keep talking about, we have a funding issue. When I first started, I was like, we don't have a funding issue, we have like $12 million. So I'm trying to break down by the general fund. So I'll just go through that. The general fund has $645,000. Special revenue funds has $2.3 million. The debt service funds has $661,000. The capital project funds has $943,000. The enterprise funds has $8.1 million. And then our fiduciary funds has $10,000, which is the first time it's been positive since I've seen the reports. I'm listing them month by month so you can see the trend by account, the increase or decrease. And then the total fund balances for April was $13.6 million. Last year, the fund balance was $12.4 million, so we have an increase of $1.2 million overall from last year. And then at the very bottom is just the revenue and expenditures for the month. So revenue was $3.7 million, expenses were $2.7 million, so a net change of a positive $981,000. And then we have a total of $3.7 million in encumbrance, open POs, and then that gives our total balance at 9.960. That concludes my reports.
Any questions? Thank you, Ms. Kimball.
Yes,
Next
sir.
up, Audra. Oh, sorry.
This is the question table. Oh, yeah, in case you guys didn't notice. Just out of curiosity, I really appreciate all the numbers. It's very helpful. The general fund and the fund balances from February to March, I mean, it went from 156 up to 846. Do you know what the swing, I guess maybe to you or the auditor, do we know what that swing is?
Can you repeat the numbers? You said in the
Like
general fund?
150, yeah, 150 to 850
February.
from
And it
February to
jumped
March.
640.
There was the property taxes,
Okay,
the property taxes, first half property tax revenue.
okay. And then, second question, so, and I'm glad this came up, because we just were talking about the airport. So, we have a current SIB loan,
Yes,
and and that was incepted in 2017?
19.
2019. And that goes for another 20 years or something,
It
or?
goes 20 years, so it'd be 2039,
Right.
but
Actually, it's less than that.
I was gonna say, I
because-
believe they said they were gonna pay it off early.
Well, no, we had some, back during the COVID times.
Oh, yeah.
They had given us, I think it was almost 40,000, and, you know, naturally, like, Don M wanted it for something, I'm like, no, we'll put it on the SIP one. So actually, it's, I think they might have said tonight, it's like 6 years, so they probably have another 10 years on it. So probably
Okay.
15 years versus 20.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Ms.
Well, I did,
Ramos?
we talk about SIB loans, the one at 5 Points on West High, that was a SIB loan to redo the sewer down there, that's been paid off. That was in 2011, around 2011, no, 2015.
Oh, sorry. Which one was it again? Down by, 5 Points, is that what you said?
Yeah,
Yes.
5 Points on West High, it was a
Yeah, that was
sewer
paid off.
improvement
It's paid
project.
off.
No, we're still paying for that one.
Okay, that's not on this
Yeah,
list.
I'm sure it's incomplete, that's what I mean, I at least
Okay.
wanted you to see that I'm working on it.
Working on, okay, thank you.
Because the only thing I have the visibility to is the 3 loans from First Ed.
The 5 Point sewer, there's still $352,000 left on that,
On which one, though?
5 Points?
Yeah, that's different than the West High. You're talking about the widening, are you not, Cheryl?
I'm talking about the SIB loan they took out on West High,
Oh, this
at the
was in-
5 Points on West High for the sewer improvement.
This one was an OWDA 5 Points, OWDA 5 Points storm sewer, in
Yeah.
2014.
Yes,
So
It
that's
was
what-
$634,000 loan, there's still $352,000.
Yeah, that'd be very helpful.
Yeah.
I appreciate,
yeah, and I
really
appreciate
appreciate.
your work on
yeah.
that, because that's one of the questions I had in my mind was, how much do we owe?
I can't even tell you right now. I've
Okay,
requested,
you're
like,
working on it, though,
the
you're
stuff
working
from the
on it.
auditor to try to summarize
you.
it. Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? Next up, Law Director. No report?
I do have a report this evening.
That's a good list.
Just a quick note on annexations.
She's working
Um,
there. She's
the-
working.
This is for Cheryl in particular. When the annexations come in and are filed, the service director does a fantastic job of getting this municipal services statement done right away. But there is legislation that needs to be done within 20 days of that municipal services statement going out. So if the administration could get that to me as soon as you do the letter, then I can get it on the agenda and get it to Ms. Ramos. so we
Well,
can
the
do that
planning
committee.
commission has to approve it first.
It does not have to approve it. All we are saying is that there are municipal services available for that piece of property. That's all the legislation
Okay.
does.
That legislation does for muni services.
Yes. We're basically just saying that what the municipal services statement says is correct.
So, and then for actually approving the annexation through the plan, that's a separate step through the planning commission, then goes back through zoning.
Yes, it can, but there are certain ones that does not require our approval. So it depends on which type they selected. All right?
I
Okay,
think.
Yep. And then the other thing that I wanted to address was, this has been a big thing that I've been working on for a number of weeks. We had a terrible accident down on West High involving a motorized scooter. The person driving the motorized scooter was going right down the middle of West High. And motorized scooters, to put that in context, these were the scooters that when all of us were kids, they were like this, and you operated them by moving your foot. Now they're automated. And they're required to have a light on them, but they're very difficult to see, particularly because if they're black and it's nighttime or early morning hours, and they're lower than a bicycle is. They're lower to the ground than a bicycle is. It's basically the height of a person, or a little bit more than the height of a person, so they're very difficult to see. And this resulted in a terrible accident. And the gentleman driving the vehicle that hit the scooter, I don't believe I ever saw him. So based on that, I've been working with the safety director and the chief of police to see if we can come up with a way to avoid accidents like this in the future. And one of the things that I believe, well, we're all in agreement on it. They're just waiting on me to do the legislation. And I believe I proposed this to them last Thursday, I think it was. What I am probably going to be recommending to council that we adopt is that we're going to use certain vehicles like that, such as a scooter, and we're going to limit where those can be driven on the road. For example, the scooter in particular, I'm going to be recommending that it only be allowed to be driven on roads that have a posted speed limit of 25 miles per hour or below. That's what some other cities have adopted, and that would have prevented what happened on West High, because the scooter wouldn't have been permitted to operate in that area, and we think that's going to save lives and be very important to our public. So I'm going to be placing them, the different vehicles in different categories and where they can be driven and what speed limits they can be driven in. The Ohio Revised Code gives us the authority to regulate these. We could ban it altogether. Nobody wants to do that. I couldn't find one city that had banned these things altogether, but it does give us the authority to regulate it. And I believe that's, from what my research has shown, that's probably the best way to handle it, is limit where these vehicles can go on certain roads where you're not going to have the traffic and things of that nature that we had happen on West High. Are there any questions for me?
Just gonna continue with the question theme. So I know we're talking a lot about scooters and bikes. Has anybody brought up, like the assisted power chair scooters? Every once in a while I see one driving on the road, and I always worry, like, you know, it's low. I mean, they're low to the ground too. The person's usually sitting in them. Has there been any discussion about that, or has there been any?
Yeah, I certainly take that. So thanks to the law director for working with us on this. You know, I've reached out to some safety directors at other cities, and they were gracious enough to send me over their legislation ordinance they have. There are some that take into consideration the handicap mobility vehicles.
Sure.
So as we go through and classifying those vehicles, that's something we are taking under consideration. The one similar he's talking about at West High was similar to that. So yeah, when we talk about what we're looking at, e-bikes, scooters, conversations have come up obviously in the past about golf carts, side-by-sides. We're just looking at, it's probably gonna take a little longer because we're gonna look at a bigger picture and try to think of what the best strategy is for an overall encompassing policy that tries to address the issues we see coming. Once again, to the law director's point, we're not trying to eliminate, but it is a safety concern from my perspective of seeing these bikes traveling on the sidewalks at high rate of speed, closing rates to alleys and such. And so I do see it as a safety issue, just not for the pedestrian, but even for the people
Yeah,
traveling on
absolutely.
it. So we will take that into consideration.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, thank you, Marvin. Cheryl?
This came up before, a couple years ago, before y'all were here, or most of you, about the handicap scooters that you were talking about. And some of them have flags that are very visible and others do not. So my concern at the time was, is there a way we can have people have a flag that's very visible on their vehicle?
We'll certainly take that into consideration as we're looking at the legislation. I don't have a specific answer to that right now, but something I'll look at.
And we also talked about golf carts at one point in time,
Golf
again.
carts were rejected by this.
Yes, they
council.
were, we rejected them, but there is a golf cart that goes up and down in front of my house. And it's not mine. So we had said that, no,
Correct.
but it is happening.
Correct, golf carts are currently not allowed in the city. Chief Behovy and her team are well aware of that and have addressed it when it's seen and, discovered as a violation.
Okay.
All right, any other question? I'm looking at this side over here.
Tonight is the question table.
All right, thanks, Marvin. All right, move on to our commission reports. First up, Planning Commission, Mayor Day.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Planning Commission will be meeting here in council chambers tomorrow at 1. The commission will consider the 2 annexations on Hillendale, those 2 requests, and also the Port Authority Board. I'm anticipating that they'll also attend the meeting to talk about some changes that board has made to Pivotal Housing Partners' plan for the Howden Buffalo property. So I don't know for sure if they're gonna come. There were some legal issues that they wanted to get squared away also. So it could be we'll have another special planning commission meeting this month in order to take care of that.
All right, thank you, Mayor Day. Board is done in appeals, Mr. McAbeer.
Thank you, Mr. President. With no variance requests to be heard, there will be no meeting tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
All right. Airport Commission, Mr. Lonzer.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Airport Commission will be meeting tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. At the Harry Cleaver Field Airport Meeting Room. We had a presentation tonight on the hangar project, and so we'll be scheduling another Public Works and Economic Development meeting for that in the coming future, near future, probably the next meeting. But that's what I got today.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lonzer. Park Board, Mr. Sears.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Park Board will meet again Wednesday, May 20th at 12 p.m. at the Park Pavilion. I was not able to attend the last meeting. I tried to get some meeting minutes and I was unsuccessful at doing that. Mayor or Service Director, was there anything, I know you both, not to put you on the spot, but I know you both attend the meeting, was there anything you felt?
No, there was no action taken,
Okay,
just a general discussion.
okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Sears. Health Board, Mr. Simmelink.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Health Board is scheduled to be this Wednesday at noon in this building, or in this room. Nicole is here tonight. I'd be happy to ask her if she had any comments she wanted to make during this portion tonight.
I do have comments and a statement prepared. I don't know, it's your pleasure if you'd like me to address council now, or I was anticipating addressing during open time.
It's fine, she can
It's
do
up
it
to you,
now.
Mr. President.
Part of the Health Board, she can do it now.
Let's do it now.
Negotiate. It's a verb, meaning to discuss, bargain, or confer with others to reach an agreement. It also refers to arranging or bringing about a deal, such as a contract. Thank you. That definition comes directly from Merriam-Webster. I share it tonight simply so that we are all operating from the same understanding, because I would prefer not to receive additional messages later on suggesting that I do not understand the meaning of the words that I'm using. At the last meeting, Mr. Kreinbell adamantly stated that he did not negotiate a contract with Commissioner Seward at the Tuscarawas County Health Department. However, I'm standing here tonight with more than 500 pages of what can only be reasonably described as negotiations conducted through email correspondence. I understand that some members of council have already received portions of these emails. If anyone wishes to review them in full, you are more than welcome to sign out copies from the Health Department's front desk until the Board of Health determines how they wish to proceed on this issue. What is most concerning to me is not simply that these discussions occurred, but that they occurred without the knowledge, involvement, or consultation of me as a health commissioner or the Board of Health for the City of New Philadelphia. As a result, the correspondence is filled with inconsistencies, inaccuracies, and statements presented as fact that are simply not true. Over the coming council meetings, I intend to be here and also address these issues thoroughly and transparently. At the heart of this discussion is a very simple question. Is the New Philadelphia City Health Department a good value for the residents of this city? This year, New Philadelphia City Health Department requested $550,000 from the city's general fund. Yet in her correspondence dated March 25th, 2026 at 6:44 p.m., Commissioner Seward states the Tuscarawas County Health Department would incur approximately a $900,000 cost to absorb New Philadelphia, with those costs increasing every single year thereafter. It appears that this process was driven by Mr. Kreinbell in an ill-informed and rushed decision that was made before all facts, costs, and consequences were properly evaluated. While direct contractual costs to the city may appear one way on paper and seem like a bargain, the Tuscarawas County Health Department will recover that revenue elsewhere. One way is through significant fee increases imposed on our businesses and residents. I've shared packets with you directly from the Tuscarawas County website, from New Philadelphia City Health Department regulations, along with a comparison table that is put together for you to easily look at. In his correspondence on February 12, 2026 at 9:42 a.m., Mr. Kreinbell referenced a survey of 5 restaurant owners. According to him, 1 preferred New Philadelphia Health Department, 1 preferred Tuscarawas County Health Department, and 3 did not care. What I would like to know is whether those business owners were informed that under the county health department, their annual licensing fees would increase between 145% and 216%. Were they informed that their plan review fees would rise anywhere between 7% and 150%? That temporary food permit fees would increase between 23% and 145% per event? And it does not stop there. Swimming pool fees increase between 13% and 51%. Tattoo and body art licensing fees increase between 50% and 74%. These are not optional expenses. These are annual costs businesses must pay simply to continue operating. Residents will feel the impact as well. The operation and maintenance program for septic systems would see fee increases ranging from 150% to 350%. And to suggest that septic systems do not occur in New Philadelphia is simply inaccurate. Many homes on the outskirts of the city and near unincorporated areas still rely on septic systems. Under the direction of the Tuscarawas County Health Department, O&M fees that are not paid will be assessed a 25% late fee and may be assessed on their property bill for collection. That's per the Tuscarawas County Health Department Home Sewage Treatment Operations and Maintenance Permit Frequently Asked Questions sheet that was updated on 1/2026. So I ask council directly tonight, are you comfortable reducing one line item in the general fund while shifting the financial burden onto local businesses and residents through what is effectively a backdoor tax? This is precisely what happens when decisions of this magnitude are made without adequate time, transparency, analysis, or respect for the office and professionals that are responsible for operating this department every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Any comments from council?
I had a question.
Yes, Mr. Ramos.
I I think I asked this the last time you were here, about your board or you guys sending the council a list of how you can reduce expenses or become self-sustained. And I'm still asking that.
I've asked to meet with council multiple times. I think I've asked for you yourself to come into the office and speak with me multiple times, and no one's taken me up on that offer, Ms. Ramos. I've spoken with.
Well, I'm asking, so I just want a list which can be emailed. I don't have to come down to the department for that, for all of us to see that.
Okay. So we are becoming more self-sufficient. I have a new program that we are implementing with the State Department of Health that is a new revenue. We have written 6 new grants this year as well that we are working towards.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, thank you, Mr. Simmerlink. Move on to our council committee reports. Finance, Mr. Ribbeth.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report tonight.
Public Works and Economic Development, Mr. Alonso.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Public Works and Economic Development Committee met this evening at 7 p.m. We had 2 items discussed. The first was proposed resolution 5, 2026. It was voted 2-1 in favor to add that to tonight's agenda. It was in regards to Nature Works grant for Tuscarora Park. The second item we had discussed was an airport hangar project. And we got a presentation from Don Kennedy and Bob Bernard. It was pretty informative, and it'll give everybody on council time to soak that all in. It seems like it's going to be a pretty self-funded project. Well, anyways, we'll be having another meeting on that, probably at the next council meeting. I haven't scheduled a time yet, but that's all.
All right, thank you, Mr. Alonso. Safety, Health and Service, Mr. Simmerlink.
Thank you, Mr. President. I had occasion to talk to the sheriff recently because I understood that the sheriff's department ordered a SWAT vehicle around the same time that we agreed to go halves on one. He was insightful and cooperative, I want to say. In fact, he said if the city decides not to spend $150,000 to buy half a SWAT vehicle, our safety forces were more than welcome to use his. He said he probably would just require one of his guys to be the driver. But he said, while he's hoping, you don't hope it gets used a lot. He forecasts a fair amount of use, but he said he didn't think it would be a problem. Share it with our safety forces as needed. He also suggested that the price of these vehicles has gone up maybe $50,000, which would increase, if we're splitting that, would increase ours $25,000. All this seemed to me to be relevant given our current budget conditions. And I've asked the safety director to go down and talk to him personally about that and explore the possibility of maybe we don't need a half a SWAT vehicle and we can save ourselves $150,000, $175,000.
Kevin, are you aware?
Well, I'm aware now. So I was not aware that the sheriff was having conversations with Mr. Simmerlink, but.
Well, I told you we did.
We did have a conversation 2 days ago. So yeah, prior to making the purchase of our Bearcat, we did have a conversation, both mayors, the city of Dover, the safety directors, the police chiefs, and our SWAT commander about what a partnership looks like. My understanding, there has been attempts in the past to engage in a joint operational tactic team that was unsuccessful. I'm not placing that blame on anyone in particular. So amongst our partner and our SWAT team, the decision was made that we move forward under our current partnership to purchase that vehicle. To my knowledge, and I could stand wrong, I see the sheriff's here tonight, I think that their vehicle was purchased after ours. I did not have knowledge that he was purchasing one of those at the time. So I don't want the council to come off that I was under some impression that this was happening. It's just not the facts. I was not aware that he was doing that or had that information. To this day, I've not had a conversation with the sheriff. The sheriff, to my knowledge, has not reached out to either myself, safety director at Dover, or either police chief about a combined tactical response team. I'm always willing to have conversations about what's best for the city and the safety of our officers. Ultimately, I do believe that vehicle, after speaking with both the police chiefs and our SWAT team that the most important time is upon their response. In our current operating model, I'd want them to respond with that vehicle and have it upon arrival versus where we're at now, which is having to wait for a vehicle to respond, either come from the south or the north, from that perspective. So to me, waiting on another vehicle still puts us in the same situation where we don't have the tools we need at the time we need to deploy them. You know, I've made comments before after the strategic planning of the city of looking at areas of opportunity for consolidation, whether that be in safety forces or other departments throughout the county. I think as economic times progress, I think there's a lot of valid reasons to have those type of conversations that I certainly would promote around doing so. You know, I've seen this, you know, we went down this path with the health department, looking at consolidation, and, you know, I think across the board, that's something that cities across this county and other counties are gonna have to probably consider down the future, given the economic status. So, no, I've not had a conversation with the sheriff. He's not reached out to me. I did not reach out to him. I was not aware he was purchasing the vehicle. I did reach out after my conversation with Mr. Simlick. I shared the same information this evening that I'm sharing this evening. I shared my concerns with Mr. Simlick. I did reach out to our partners at Dover, who was part of our joint task force, and we feel committed to move forward with the purchase of that vehicle, giving its usefulness when it comes to safety and the quickness of the response. Not that I'm still opposed to speaking with Sheriff Campbell, be happy to do so. If operating model changes are in the future, then I think that gives us opportunity to reevaluate that from a broader perspective.
Any questions?
I would just add that the sheriff did add that he would be certainly open to combining some resources, which he thought would save his department and our department in our city money with the training, equipment, having guys out of the off, you know, off to Columbus to training and all this stuff, which means you got to bring more guys in, all this kind of stuff. He felt there were some possibilities there. I said, that's, you know, I'm not in the business of writing contracts and consolidations. And I was hoping that our safety director would take time to talk to the sheriff, and maybe they find some good suggestions. I think there have been some conflict in the past, but everything I've heard is that we have lived through all that, and things are we have a much more cooperative relationship now.
Any comments from council? I think it's worth a talk.
That's what I thought.
Decided we wanted to do. Any comments from council? All right. We'll move on to zone annexation, Mr. Ramos.
Well, you didn't finish the committee. That was during committee. That was his health committee. So like I didn't.
That was
I didn't-
safety,
I didn't-
health, and
You didn't get,
service.
yeah.
Well, yours is.
So I'm salary, so you didn't get me. I'm just
Not
saying.
yet, not yet. I want to Carl first.
He's coming to you later.
Hold on.
Thank you, Mr. President, no report.
Now we got solid, Mr. Granville.
I was thinking I was after Tom, so
No.
sorry about that. Thank you, Mr. President. No report.
All right, Cemetery Board, Mr. Sears.
Thank you, Mr. President. The cemetery board will meet here in council chambers this Thursday, the 14th, at 8 a.m.
All right, didn't forget you, Mike. Special contact.
Thank you, Mr. President. Special Contact Committee met this evening at 6:45. We had two items on the agenda this evening. First one was ordinance 4/2026 was an ordinance regarding overtaking and passing the right during school hours at West Elementary. Second item was ordinance 10/2026. It's an ordinance to amend ordinance 703.03 for an increase to the garage sale permit fees. Both of those items were put on the agenda for first reading this evening, and we adjourned 10 minutes later. Would have been a little quicker, but the question table was added. So.
All right, thank you, Mr. Walker. All right, the floor is now open for visitors' comments. Anyone wishing to address council should rise, state your name and address, and address all comments to the chair. You will have 5 minutes. Denny, gotta go to the podium, Denny.
Oh, no.
Go to the,
Nobody
Go to
knows
the
this guy,
podium.
we need his name.
Put your hat on, Lee, it's blurry.
why don't you go to the podium, Denny? We need you to talk to the,
Microphones don't work. Give you something to lean
They
on.
record, they
they
record.
record, Denny.
Okay, the reason I'm here, seriously, was to support our city health department. I think it's very valuable. I don't want to see our tax dollars move over to the county. But she does an excellent job, and I use it. Maybe more citizens should use the Philly Health Department because they're excellent at what they do. So anyway, that's why I'm here. And I would like to tell some of the council members, I served 4 years as Ward 2 councilman, 4 years as councilman at large, and 4 years as president of city council. And I'm glad I'm not. Now, seriously, it's a great city. I'm originally from Elyria, Ohio, moved down here, and God sent me here. Not for that purpose, but it's like, it's a great community. And I've been able to raise a family of 3. Now I got 13 grandkids and 2 great-grandkids. So I'm broke at Christmas.
Give us your address, Denny.
Oh, okay, it's 403 or 403 2nd Street Northwest, New Philadelphia.
Okay,
I'm sorry about that.
that's all right, Denny. Thank you for your comments.
Well, am I done?
What?
Well,
If you got more to
I
say.
hope you do keep the city health department in the city, because they are worth it,
Okay.
okay? And can somebody write me a note so tell my wife I was here tonight?
She could go online.
Oh, I'm not that good. All right, well, thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Denny. You're up.
Hey, hello, everyone. See, I'll talk into the mic. I'm not stubborn.
Excuse me.
Mr. President, Mayor, Council, Administration, I'm here, obviously, I'm your sheriff. I'm not here to talk about a Bearcat at all. But I'm also here as a resident of New Philadelphia, and I'm here to talk about the health department. And I only want to say 2 things, because I know every single person at these tables. I know what good people you are, and I know you've got tough decisions to make. I've been in local government for 36 years. And I've had to live through some of that too, back in 2008, especially during the recession. I will not be criticizing you for the decisions made here. I'm going to say what an exceptional health department you have. I think you already know the mayor's famous for calling him the greatest health department in the state of Ohio. He likes to publish that. And I know you guys know they're good. But I will tell you that I work with an awful lot of agencies. And they are committed more than what they're required to do. They're problem solvers, and they're just truly exceptional. So I want to offer that. Realizing that you still have difficult decisions to make, and as a resident here, I know you have to make them, and you know, I will look at you the same. What I hope that you do is what I try to do, and all local governments should do, is look at the fastest rising and continuously rising costs, and, you know, try to work on those, because my fear would be that, you know, if the health department looks like low-hanging fruit, that they disappear, and in 18 months, that money's consumed somewhere else. And now we miss the health department, but our costs continue to rise. So I just felt, you know, if you've ever laid in a proverbial foxhole with somebody, you feel like you need to speak up. And I'm telling you, I've been in the foxhole with them through COVID. Their services are incredibly important to the Tuscarawas County Jail. And they have educated us, and they have made us better, and they are committed. And again, I say that with all love for every council person here. There's one elected office holder I like better than the rest of you.
Thanks,
Mayor.
Thank you.
I
was waiting for that one.
I know. But I am sincere in that their level of service is not the norm today. So they deserve to at least be recognized for that. So thank you for your time.
Great, thank you, Willis. Anyone else?
Can I say one more thing?
Well, just one thing.
Just about Orvis.
Why didn't he have to say
I
his
met
address?
him when Denny Vitt, he was in high school, and we would work out together at the Philly gym. And can you tell by my guns? Anyway, he's a very good person.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
Any other comments? All right, council comments. Any councilmen have comments tonight?
Yeah, Mr.
Yes,
President.
Mr. Walker.
So I've got the pleasure to spend a lot of time with these two, Councilman Wanzer and Sears, over the last couple of weeks. Just want to kind of recognize them too, their Dan's son James and Brian's daughter Addison, and my son. All three of them got Quaker Foundation scholarships, and then we were at the awards banquet together, the academic awards banquet together. So just want to commend them for a job well done as parents.
Thank you. You as well.
It's kind of a good one that we have three councilmen from New Philly that have graduating seniors this year with those kind of accolades to them. So well done.
You're probably gonna generate a lot of questions from this subject. You know,
Thanks.
just saying.
I will say, just to
Uh-huh.
piggyback.
Open
So
that door, didn't you,
the
Mike?
Quaker Foundation, I mean, you gotta really say the number because it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like $331,000 in scholarships they gave out to 87 kids.
The first year was what, 1,000 or?
Yeah, it was
Like $5,000?
nothing, essentially. But I mean, it's just as fascinating and, you know, listen, there's a lot of negative right now. There's a lot of negative in every community, but that was definitely a reminder that there's still, you know, good people, lots of good people here.
And, you know, another step is it's a class that's just under 200, and 87 of those got Quaker Foundation scholarships. So
Right.
it's impressive. Impressive class.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Ramos.
My daughter graduated from New Philly in 2008, and she also was blessed with a Quaker Foundation scholarship. And she eventually went to a school in Indiana, graduated debt-free. And she doesn't realize even to this day what a blessing that is. And she lives there in Indiana. She didn't come back to here, but she was able to. That was a very good thing that she got that scholarship. So I have to brag on my daughter, even though it was a long time ago.
Any other comments? Mr. Campbell, yes.
I forgot to mention in my report, and I can wait till the next time. I'd like to talk about the unclaimed funds and a bucket truck.
Sure.
Is it too late? Okay.
No, hey,
So,
we're here.
been working with the auditor's office, and we have identified the true balance of our unclaimed funds. Our goal is by July 1st to have that list of all checks outstanding over a 5-year period published on our city website with a form for any resident to go out and print the form out and claim any funds that there'll be a process that'll explain how to do that. However, there is a balance sitting in the unclaimed funds GL of about $51,000 that just needs to be transferred to the general fund. It's been a few years since we've done that transfer based on the activity that I can see. So I don't know how everybody feels about it, but I mean, there's $40,000 that can be transferred from unclaimed funds to the general fund that would pretty much cover a bucket truck.
What do we need to do, Margaret?
I've never done legislation before for transferring those funds, but I can certainly look into it, but apparently it's been done in the past, but I don't recall doing legislation to that effect.
Do you remember the date that the last one was done? Was it 17?
No, it was 2021,
Oh.
2022.
Of course, it probably takes council approval to do all that, right?
I would presume that it would, yeah, to move the unclaimed funds. It's no different than, that's what the state legislature did when they took unclaimed funds to help build the
Brown Stadium.
And we worked with the city of Dover to try to outline what their process is. Got all the history from the, Dover actually went through the same exercise a few years ago, and the county auditor gave them their process, and we've kind of outlined everything to follow both their processes. So we just, the funds are in here, we need to transfer to the general fund. So I'm just sharing that it's, that there are some funds that if the bucket are.
And
I appreciate that, that's very important.
once you get to that, Marvin, then if we want to do that for a bucket truck or something, Mr. Rippeth, you work with Marvin and we come up with a plan.
I like it.
All right.
I had a quick question.
Yes, Mrs. Ramos.
What is the legal process to go through to notify, people that they have money that they can claim, or how does that work?
We have a list that, we will, going forward, have a list that we will publish on our website. It'll be updated with a new list once a year. I think Danielle is picking September. The list will be refreshed with the prior 5 years. If, however, there is somebody who fills out the form and claims funds, Danielle will have to have that sent to whomever's administering the website to have the list updated so that name falls off. And then after 5 years, the money gets transferred into the general fund. Like if the checks from 2021 were still part of the fund in September, if I have my dates right, if there was $1,100 from checks that were dated 2022, then in September when she does her annual process, that $1,100 will be transferred to the general fund.
So we're really looking at stuff that's been hanging out there for
5 years.
over 5 years.
Yes. Once it
Okay.
hits 5 years, then in September, the money will be moved.
Quick question. Does it have to go to general fund? Because we budgeted that 40,000 out of master capital. So does it first have to clear through general fund and then go to master capital? Or do we need to do something to pull that back out of the master capital budget? So we can work through those details as we go. I just wanted to have that out there that was where we budgeted for that truck to come. So we're gonna make sure those funds either go there or that we do a transfer of that, whatever we have to do to keep the book straight for you.
The past funds were sent to general fund, so we'd have to investigate that.
Okay. And if we do general funds and do a transfer or bring that back out of master capital, but we wanna make sure we have it in the right place.
All right, moving on. We're ready for legislative. Ms. Courtwright.
Ordinance number 4, 2026, an ordinance by the council of the city of New Philadelphia, Ohio, amending the traffic code to prohibit overtaking and passing upon the right in a specified area during restricted hours on school days for safety reasons and declaring an emergency. First reading.
So the action taken by council on this ordinance tonight. All right, hearing none, it will be held for next regularly scheduled council meeting.
Ordinance number 10, 2026, an ordinance by the council of the city of New Philadelphia, Ohio, to amend ordinance 703.03C with regards to the cost of the garage sale permit fee and declaring an emergency. First reading.
So the action will be taken on this ordinance tonight. Hearing none, it will be held for next regularly scheduled council meeting.
Resolution number 5, 2026, a resolution by the council of the city of New Philadelphia, Tuscarawas County, Ohio, authorizing the mayor to apply for financial assistance under the NatureWorks grant program and declaring an emergency. First reading.
So the action taken by council on this resolution tonight. All right, hearing none, to be held for our next regularly scheduled council meeting.
That concludes legislation for this
All
evening.
right, thank you, Ms. Courtwright. Any unfinished road business? You want to say something? No. Okay. All right, any new business for council tonight? All right, hearing none, Mr. Lonzer.
I motion to adjourn, sir.
All right, we motion 8:38. Thank you, everyone.